Nick Ferrer.
There he is.
Man, one of the people that I really honestly first got involved within being finally in the career out of college.
Sure.
And someone that I learned a lot from at the beginning of my career and still do to this day. You have done it the right way. You're still doing it the right way. I want to kind of talk a little bit more just about, how you got to where you are, because people, they look at where they want to go in their goals in life, and especially in the entertainment or the music industry, and they're so far-fetched and so hard to even start to grasp. And I think your story personally is one that people can really take notes from and see, okay, this is what I should be doing.
Right.
So let's start early. Like, when did you know? When did you know that music was something that you wanted to be involved in?
At a very young age. I mean, I started off as a DJ when I was 12.
Yeah.
I got my first turntables.
Crazy.
And I can just remember all I did was listen to music and play basketball. That was it. That's all I wanted to do.
Why? What made you decide you weren't going to play basketball? The same thing as me, knowing that I was like 5'5".
Look, I'm 5'4". Like, it's just, it's just being realistic.
Yeah.
But I knew deep down music was it for me. Don't know what it was. I mean, definitely DJ, but I didn't know. I mean, I knew I was going to be an artist.
That's interesting, because I feel like at the age of, like within your early teens or, early adolescence, artist is the first thing you want to be. You know what I mean? Because you see it on the TV, you hear it. How did you know that that's not what you wanted to do?
I guess first and foremost, when I saw a Biggie Diddy Mace video, I believe, that's when I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's just like caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching MTV one day as a kid. I was like, dude, who are these guys? And
how can I be involved in what they're doing?
How can I be involved?
Yeah.
And that's but that's what caught my attention first.
And what was your first real kind of exposure in a work front to being in the industry? My first really in the radio side was Power 106 as an intern, 2015.
I guess I was always surrounded by it. I mean, as far as when I picked up my turntables, I would DJ house parties, my high school dances, and a lot of my cousins played instruments, and they were DJs, so I was always around it, but didn't know there was a music industry. There was the music business until 2008, where I got the opportunity to get an internship at Power 106. Was everything.
Yeah. What's the moment when you realize, okay, I've got an internship in a place that can set me towards what my career and what my goals are in life?
All I knew is that Power 106 was like the LA Lakers. Like, if you were part of that, you were going to play for the best. You're going to be part of the best. As a DJ and a music lover, that's all I knew. I was born and raised here in LA.
Mm-hmm. I look at your mentality now, and I didn't know you in 2008 when you first got that internship. Have you seen your mentality change in the way you look at the industry and life in general? Because you walk around and you are this positive ball of energy that is so like now driven. Were you like that back then?
Absolutely. I mean, it just starts with passion, the music. At the end of the day, everything's about the music.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to go through trial and error. There's pros and cons, and that's just life, man. But if you have passion for what you do, nothing's going to stop you.
What makes you stand out? Because, like, I get it all the time. People talk to me about it on, like, my path.
Sure.
But for an intern to start and to have worked within a company and to move up and to get positions and roles and people really value your opinion, what made you different?
I guess I listened.
Yeah.
And I surrounded myself with great mentors. I've had a lot of great mentors. The first day I stepped into Power, I had great mentors, and I was very fortunate and blessed to have that.
That's important. You feel for
mentorship is very, very, very important.
Did you?
And
seek
if you're
them
willing
out?
to listen.
Yeah. Did you seek them out, or do you feel that?
I already knew who they were when I stepped in there.
Okay.
I mean, the first person that called me from Power was Jeff Garcia.
Okay, yeah.
And of course, I followed his career.
Who's now the producer of the morning show?
The sports dude. that I knew about his career before he even called me, and I had to explain who he was.
Yeah. That's a note that's definitely a note that I always try to pass on to interns is do your research.
Do your research.
You know, you got to know what you're stepping into before you step into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then here come, you know, I walk in, it's July 15, 2008. Jimmy Steele, who's a programming director and a guy I really admire and also a mentor, walks in, Big Siphon Eric Deluxe. He's like, these are the guys you're going to intern for. I remember I was wearing like a suit and tie. Like, he looked at me like I'm crazy. But again, I didn't know there was a music industry or there was a music business.
And until you're in that industry, you don't know the casualness or the business side of it. You don't know where that merger goes, but you're better, like you said, to be over-prepared and to be overdressed than to be underdressed.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So Eric Deluxe and Cypher are people that you've worked with.
I mean, I grew up listening to them on the radio.
How's that? You walk in.
I mean, I would tune in to their radio show.
Yeah.
And try to copy their mixes.
And now at this stage, 2008, you're a part of that.
I'm a part of it. And now I said I'm in. Like that was it. Walk down and there's Felly Fel. I hear Big Boy and all these great radio people that I followed and great DJs. Sorry for that.
No, you're good.
I was like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm not going anywhere. Like, they're going to have to kick me out. And that was my mentality. And I wasn't going to leave here without a job.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to set an example of the type of person who I was. Like, I wasn't going to change either way. That's just who I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool, just be that guy. Like, why do I got to change who I am or my work ethic or anything? I was just like, I'm just going.
Did you ever run into people that weren't ready for you to move as fast as you wanted to move?
Oh, absolutely.
How do you deal with
that?
But
it was okay.
Yeah.
Like, I always learned.
Mm-hmm.
I listened. I always took the good and bad from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. What is he doing good? What is he doing bad? But I always try to look at the positive before anything.
Someone that's so career and like career driven and wanting more, is it tough sometimes when, and I've ran into this, when people want you to move slower?
Yeah, but that doesn't stop me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no one's going to stop me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you're going to run into those people that are going to keep you down. So if you're going to allow them to do that, you're going to stay down.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to just stay down, and you're not, your work ethic and your mood and your energy is just going to be off if you pay attention to all that noise.
Why do you have such great energy? Where does that come from, and how have you managed to package that in a positive way?
Because I have passion, man.
Yeah.
That's it. It's passion. I just love music.
Mm-hmm.
So with all the noise going on, like I go back to like, why am I doing this? It's because I do it because I love music.
Mm-hmm. But there's got to be some type of method to the madness. Like, I know recently I've started to like meditate and read more, try to educate myself more. Do you search for things like that? I
mean, I get up now every single day at 5 a.m. It does not matter what time I get home, what time I get to sleep, how drunk I was the night before. I get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I start my day with a positive mindset. I don't carry on the problems I had the night before into my new day. I go with, okay, what are the solutions to fixing that, right? And then I go to the gym. I take care of my health. I mean, I make some bad decisions, but I make sure I show up at least to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I meditate. That's really helped me. I've been doing it for like 6 months now. Yeah. And it's definitely helped me. It's crazy.
It's crazy the impact, because we've been told about meditation for years and years and years. And until you first actually do it and you open your eyes after meditating, that feeling, you don't really get anywhere else.
You don't. And I do it in the sauna steam room.
Okay, that's next level.
That's another level. It's another level. But it took time. It took practice. It took doing it. Just like work or what you do every day, you have to do it every day. So if you are a DJ, you have to do it every day. If you want to be Kobe Bryant or you have to do it every day.
Mm-hmm. Where do you see the greatest effects and impacts of meditation and really clearing your mind?
It definitely, I stress myself out easily, but I work well under stress, pressure. You know, so, but if I have a clear mind of what my day is going to look like in an hour, 2, 3, 4, and in 24 hours, and knowing that end goal, that's where meditation comes into play for me.
I want to take a step back from where we are right now and your role coming up within Power and then kind of working side by side with Eric Deluxe, someone that I've worked with as well.
Sure.
What impact and influence has he been on you?
I mean, he's like a big brother, man, and just one of those guys he's just a good guy. You know, he definitely took me under his wing.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people did, and I can go on with a big list here.
Yeah.
But he was the one that really took the time and said, hey, like, yo, we're hanging out tonight.
Yeah.
You know, just come hang with the boys. Cool.
Yeah.
No intentions, no nothing. Cool. Yo, I'm going to the club tonight. I know you're 19, but you want to roll and carry my bag and like drive?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. And that's when I learned, okay, network. Just be you. Network. Just be you. No bad intentions. Eric, I'm not here to take your job or your promoter. No one. I'm just here to hang out and learn and study. That was it.
Where did it finally click to you about the networking and the value of what that is? Because you're one of the best that I see it doing it. You walk in, you know everybody, everyone knows you. That's been a long process of being around the right people. Yeah. When did it really go like, okay, I have this network of close people that are already tight.
Yeah.
How do I expand that?
I guess also it's who you surround yourself with, right? It's that saying of, tell me who your 5 friends are and I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah.
Because they represent you, you know? So if you're around good people, people feed off that and they see that.
How did your relationship with Eric and working with Eric? You were running his day-to-day pretty much.
I mean,
I did
it for everyone at Power.
You've worked with Just Incredible, doing the same kind of thing for that.
Same thing. I did it for E-Man, and I learned so much, really, with the music business in the music department as well, and working with Ferrer in the mix show department, and learn how to deal with different personalities, from DJs to interns to salespeople to record reps to artists to managers. Was definitely the test there too of relationships.
It's tough coming up, and this is something that especially people coming out of college or studying straight out of high school, whatever they're trying to do, you will forever, not forever, but for a long time, you put someone else first. Someone else's needs and someone else's wants and helping out sometimes can become more important, or it needs to because it's your job, than what you really deep down want. Right. How did you deal with that?
I always was the type to put others first before me. Do good first and good will come back, man. It's karma.
Do you think that is something that others have seen in you, and that's the reason that people have so much respect for what you have done to help other people?
Absolutely. I hope so, because it's that saying, you know, with, you know, how do you treat your mother? How do you treat your parents? Yeah. You should treat everybody else the same way. You know, I strongly believe in that. From anyone that has nothing going on. Like, remember as an intern, people show me love.
And you remember those people?
Absolutely. And there was guys that shied me away or girls that shied me away. Cool with me. I still kept it pushing. I was still me. It didn't determine anything. At all.
Can you pinpoint a time in your come up so far that has been the toughest? That has been a point where you've gone, damn, maybe this isn't the right thing for me, or maybe I'm giving up too much for what I want to get?
Nah, never, man. I just go. I don't pay attention to the noise.
Yeah.
I don't. It's that. I tell you all the time, don't look. Jimmy Iovine said it in the Defiant Ones. I watch that almost every day. Yeah. Don't look left. Don't look right. Look straight. Put your blinders on.
Yeah. Is it important to, like you said, you watch the Defiant Ones every day. Have you always tried to find something like that, like the Defiant Ones, that you have for a period of time that keeps you directed?
Absolutely.
Where do you look for those? Like, where do you find those?
Where do I find documentaries in the field that I work in? I ask questions. I pay attention to what other people are reading or listening to, what podcasts or what do
Mhm.
they like to watch, and see where they're at in their life. And I take the good and the bad.
Mhm. You made a switch in the last year or so.
Yeah, last year. I mean, I was at Power for 8 years, and
Yeah.
that was, I mean, absolutely, I cherish. It was like my college, and I love everyone up there, and I love that radio station.
Mhm.
I recently transitioned to do A&R.
Mhm.
A&R means artist and repertoire. It's not artist and relations.
Yeah. Which is
Really,
the common mistake that most people make with that.
which I thought too. I
Yeah.
didn't really. I had an idea what A&R was.
Yeah.
Neither did I really want to be an A&R.
Mhm.
But I was like, I believe in bigger the risk, bigger the chance.
For sure.
And just dive into it.
And how did you make that decision? Like what went into that decision of, I'm about to step out of a building that you thought was, you still know is like the precipice of where that is.
Absolutely.
How do you make that decision to walk away from that and into a new role? And how scary is that?
It was very scary. I mean, it drove me crazy when I had to make the decision. But you got to take risks, man. It's like rolling that dice.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen?
Exactly.
What is the worst thing that can happen?
I know. I think of that all the time. I think the worst thing that could happen for me is if I did fail, I could go back. I'm lucky. I can go back to Australia and
Sure.
There's a life there that I would still love. But it's like, how bad is that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's still great. And that's what I think people get so caught up in, the thought of like the worst, but they think the worst is way worse than what it actually is.
Right. You just gotta make decisions, man, and you have to make good decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And you always have to follow your gut, follow your heart.
Talk to me about this new role that you have.
Oh man,
because I see you running around in the studios.
It's a lot, and I love it, and I learn so much. Again, the company I work for called Ladium Entertainment. It's a management label and publishing. It's a JV label under Warner Atlantic now. The CEO is Charles Chavez, who actually I met in radio in 2009. Because
you never know who you're gonna end up working with.
You never know who you're gonna end up working with.
Yeah.
So you make sure you rub people the right way. And I met him actually through E-Man. I used to sit in music meetings, and he used to manage an artist named Pitbull, and you just never know. But throughout the years, I would see him, and he always asked me, "What do you want to do next? Like, what's next?" Like, I was like, "I just want to be a DJ." He's like, "That's it? That's it?" And I was like, and I knew that I didn't want to just be a DJ. I wanted to do it all.
Yeah.
So when I was offered the position, I said, I'm going to just try it.
Yeah.
So my day-to-day is scouting for new talent, working with songwriters, working with producers, working with all types of other creatives, man. I'm in and out of studios. I'm always looking to what's next, what's hot.
Yep.
What's the next big thing? What are the trends?
How do you stay ahead? Because I know, especially with the trend that has been going on recently with Spanish music, really integrating into it.
We specialize in. By the way, I'm not Latin of descent.
Yeah.
I go off feeling of music.
Well, you've been telling me about J Balvin for, I don't even know when's J Balvin? When you playing? When's it going to be on the radio? I'm like, who's J Balvin?
Right.
Then all of a sudden,
J
Balvin is one of the. You had told me that he was such a huge superstar in the Latino community, but now he has transformed into the English speaking. Yeah. How did you know that that's where it was going? Before it happened,
I was lucky to travel. I was lucky to travel, so I would hear things going on in all parts of the world. But now it's very easy now. I mean, you can go anywhere in the world. Shazam, Spotify, Tidal, anywhere. You can see what's going on in the world, and then you just have to know, is it a hit? Can it cross over? Like, what I'm taught every single day is it a worldwide hit?
Yeah.
Can it get played everywhere, parts of the world? And that's the type of artist I look for, and the type of songs I listen for.
That's crazy because we're so used to being separated from other cultures.
But music is not supposed to do that to you. No. Music is universal. I mean, I remember when I went to Japan, and it was a Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nene song. And again, in Japanese culture, it's hard to communicate in English.
Yeah.
But with music, it's universal. So when I went over there, I first heard the song, everybody was singing the song, doing the dance in the song, but meanwhile, you can't have a conversation with them in English.
Yeah.
So music is everything, man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what race you are or anything. It's, to me, again, music is feeling.
What's next? What's next? Because that's what you say all the time.
Nick
Ferrer says, "What's next?"
What's next? I mean, what's next? I mean, I just been doing this for a year. I definitely want to be a part of an artist's career, from the beginning stages. You know, I love scouting for new artists, and if I do scout for new artists, I always, first and foremost, when I like to meet them, I like to see if they're likable, if they have ambition, and if they're talented. I don't look for talent first.
Yeah.
Because you may have all the talent, but are you likable?
And are you using
do you have
the talent?
ambition? Absolutely. I know plenty of people that are talented, but do they have the work ethic? Are they people who are gonna like you?
You break down what you've done and you see facilitator. You know what I mean? Like you see the Jimmy Iovine in you of allowing people to work at their best, and that's the task at hand. And if you watch the Defiant Ones, Jimmy Iovine, I think, was so good because he knew he wasn't the superstar. He knew how to get the superstar out of the people around him.
Right. And he explains that even from his staff. He tries to bring out the best, and I try to do that because I know people expect that from me.
Definitely,
you know, they expect that from me.
What's one thing now that you know that, as coming in at 2008 as an intern, you wish you had known then? Because there's a lot of things that I wish I knew now that I go, wow, I could have been so far further ahead probably, that you could impart on someone else that may watch this and be like, damn, that's great, and they're only 17.
I try not to look back as much as possible. I try not to have no regret. I mean, everything is a learning experience, man.
Yeah.
You know. You have to learn. You have to live to learn, right?
For sure.
So, I like to learn every day. Like, it's nothing. That's it. Like, I get up every day and I want to learn. I want to learn from everyone.
And that's what I think makes you so unique, is that you, one, want to learn from everyone around you, and two, you listen.
You have to learn how to listen.
Learn how to listen. There it is. That's the point.
That's
the point we were looking for.
Yeah, # learn how to listen.
Love it. Nick Ferrer.
You know?
Thank you.
Nah, thank you, man.
Of
Thank
course.
you for having me, man.
The easiest play.
My G. Thank you.